those who sustain greatness through every storm that tests their foundation. In a shocking turn of events, the Kansas City Chiefs have made a decision that has left fans stunned and analysts searching for answers. Following a painful and unexpected loss, head coach Andy Reid has taken decisive action, cutting a key player from the roster. The move, described as both bold and necessary, signals a new level of accountability within the Chiefs organization. For a team long defined by excellence, composure, and championship pedigree, such a decision underscores the intensity of their pursuit of perfection. The aftermath of defeat often reveals the true character of leadership, and Reid's response has made headlines across the league. This decision wasn't emotional, it was strategic, deliberate, and deeply reflective of the standards Kansas City continues to uphold. The shock surrounding the announcement has sparked debate about responsibility, performance, and the difficult choices required to sustain greatness in professional football. This chapter introduces the event that has now reshaped both the team's identity and its immediate future. The loss that triggered this decision was more than a regular setback, it was a turning point. The Chiefs, known for precision and discipline, faltered under pressure in critical moments, exposing weaknesses that had lingered beneath the surface. Mistakes that once seemed minor became decisive. Coaches and players alike understood that change was inevitable. Andy Reid, a coach who rarely acts impulsively, reached a breaking point after reviewing the performance tape. Reports suggest that discussions behind closed doors were intense, focusing on accountability and effort. The player released was reportedly involved in key errors that altered the game's momentum. While the move shocked the locker room, it also sent a clear message: complacency will not be tolerated. For a franchise accustomed to winning, the pain of defeat demanded a response that would redefine standards. This chapter explores how one loss, magnified by expectation, became the catalyst for a decision that reshaped Kansas City's internal structure. Andy Reid's public statement following the roster cut reflected both professionalism and gravity. His words were measured, but their message carried unmistakable weight. Reid acknowledged the difficulty of the choice, emphasizing that the decision was made in the best interest of the team's progress. He praised the players' past contributions, but made it clear that performance and consistency dictate opportunity in Kansas City. Analysts noted Reid's calm tone, but sensed a shift in his approach: firmer, more decisive. This was not merely about one player, it was about reinforcing a culture of discipline. Reid's leadership has always been rooted in accountability, but this moment revealed his willingness to act decisively when standards slip. Within the locker room, players reportedly viewed the announcement as a wake-up call. Reid's decision marked a renewed demand for excellence, signaling that even established reputations could not outweigh the relentless pursuit of improvement. This chapter reveals the conviction behind Reid's words and their lasting effect on the team's mindset. The player's departure marked the end of a complex chapter. Though details remain limited, insiders describe a mix of shock and disappointment from the individual involved. The athlete had been part of the Chiefs' recent success and carried expectations of continued impact. However, as performance dipped and mistakes grew costly, patience within the organization reached its limit. Sources close to the team revealed that conversations between the player and management were respectful yet final. Leaving a powerhouse franchise like Kansas City under such circumstances is never easy. The emotional toll was evident, but so was the professionalism, both sides parting without public conflict. For the player, the release represents both an ending and an opportunity to reflect. For the Chiefs, it serves as a reminder that maintaining excellence demands difficult separations. This chapter captures the human side of the decision, a moment where ambition, consequence, and reality collided in the unforgiving landscape of professional football. Inside the Chiefs facility, the atmosphere shifted immediately after the announcement. Teammates expressed surprise and reflection, realizing that even established contributors were not immune to change. Veteran players recognized the decision as a signal from leadership. Effort, discipline, and execution would define roles moving forward. Younger athletes saw it as both a warning and an opportunity. Coaches emphasized unity, urging the roster to treat the situation as a moment of growth rather than fear. Emotional discussions followed team meetings, where players spoke about accountability and collective responsibility. Every great locker room faces defining moments that test cohesion, and this was one for Kansas City. Trust in the system had to remain stronger than individual emotion. The decision reinforced the idea that no one is above the standard. This chapter explores the psychological shift that occurred within the team, how a single cut recalibrated mindset, urgency, and commitment across every position and leadership tier. Across the sports world, analysts and journalists dissected the news from every angle. Some praised Andy Reid's decisiveness, viewing it as a necessary move to restore focus and intensity. Others questioned whether cutting a player so abruptly could disrupt chemistry. Debates dominated talk shows, with commentators highlighting how the Chiefs have always balanced loyalty with logic. Statistical breakdowns emerged, comparing the players' recent performance metrics to team averages, reinforcing that the decision was grounded in evidence rather than emotion. National headlines framed the moment as a message to the entire league, showcasing Kansas City's unwillingness to accept mediocrity. Yet amid analysis, respect remained both for Reid's leadership and the players' past contributions. This chapter captures the broader football community's interpretation, where opinions differed, but one conclusion prevailed: the Chiefs had chosen accountability over comfort, setting an example for how elite organizations respond when performance no longer aligns with championship expectations. Following the roster change, the Chiefs immediately began recalibrating their strategy. Coaches reviewed formations, adjusted depth charts, and evaluated potential replacements from within the roster. The move also opened opportunities for emerging talent to prove themselves on a grand stage. This transition period was marked by focus and quiet determination. The team's core leadership, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and defensive captains rallied players to maintain composure and intensity. Every practice carried renewed purpose, every play evaluated with precision. The message was clear: this was not the time for distraction, but for execution. The organization's structure ensured that no individual departure could derail collective ambition. This chapter examines how Kansas City turned disruption into motivation. Strategic refinement replaced uncertainty, and the pursuit of improvement became the driving force. The Chiefs' commitment to adaptability revealed why they remain a perennial contender, capable of transforming challenges into momentum through preparation, leadership, and uncompromising focus. Andy Reid's leadership has long been a cornerstone of the Chiefs' dynasty. His ability to blend empathy with firmness has shaped one of the NFL's most respected cultures. In this instance, Reid demonstrated a principle he has lived by throughout his career: accountability sustains success. His decision to release a player following a disappointing performance was not about punishment, but preservation of culture. Reid understands that talent wins games, but discipline builds legacies. His calm authority, paired with strategic insight, commands respect across generations of athletes. Former players often describe him as both mentor and tactician, demanding excellence while valuing personal growth. This event reflects the duality of leadership in sports: compassion balanced by conviction. Reid's unwavering standards ensure that every individual, regardless of status, contributes with purpose and professionalism. This chapter explores how his philosophy continues to evolve, guiding Kansas City through turbulence with composure, clarity, and the relentless pursuit of sustained greatness. Kansas City's fan base, known for its loyalty and passion, reacted with a mixture of shock and understanding. Many supporters expressed sadness over the departure, recalling the player's contributions to memorable victories. Yet, others commended Andy Reid and the organization for making a difficult but necessary choice. In sports cities built on pride, such moments often reveal the emotional depth of connection between team and community. Local radio shows and online forums buzzed with conversation, analyzing every detail. Fans recognize the broader message: the Chiefs refuse complacency. Their trust in Reid's leadership remains strong, grounded in years of consistent excellence. For many, The event served as a reminder of how high the bar has been set in Kansas City. This chapter reflects the emotional pulse of the fan base, disappointed yet proud, uncertain yet confident that the franchise's long-term commitment to greatness remains stronger than any single setback. The decision to cut a player after a painful loss will be remembered not just for its shock value, but for its deeper meaning. It represents the unspoken truth of championship culture: success demands sacrifice. Andy Reid's response to defeat was not reactionary but rooted in principle. The message extends beyond one game or one roster change. It is a reaffirmation of identity. The Chiefs' standard remains unchanged. Performance, accountability, and unity define their path forward. This chapter concludes with reflection on resilience, the quiet strength that transforms disappointment into direction. The Chiefs stand not weakened, but renewed. Their focus sharpened, their purpose restored. Every great organization faces crossroads that test conviction. Kansas City's choice to act decisively, even amid controversy, reinforces why they remain a benchmark for excellence in the modern NFL. The story closes not with finality, but with a reminder: greatness survives through courage, discipline, and unwavering belief.